Hi everyone, this video review is for Sometimes We Fly by Cheyenne. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there is a link in the description below, and if you're on my blog, then there is a link within the post. So Sometimes We Fly by Cheyenne. This was really good for the soul. After Maren's teenage daughter has been caught carjacking, her ex-husband has also moved out to live with his boyfriend, and Maren just moves them out of the city. She needs a break from things, and when she moves in, Jack, who is her neighbour, has no idea that she's a celebrity. All she knows is that Maren's daughter is a threat to her motorcycle business after she's caught her sneaking around the workshop one night. So she tries to understand Maren's situation, and in that Jack allows Maren's daughter to right some of her wrongs by helping out. But it's also Maren and Jack who quickly strike up this connection of their own. So the story had some really beautiful messages about generally giving people second chances, taking a few risks to find happiness, that sort of thing. So it really, like I say, it's really good for the soul. It's a real feel-good type of story. And Maren had a lot at stake. She's had to temporarily take a break from her job as a newsreader, which can have consequences of, you could never get back into that field sort of thing, especially given that she's a slightly older newsreader. So she's worried about not having a way back into her career. And it's a very selfless sacrifice to help her daughter. At first I was very curious how things would go, because there was a bit of tension between her and Jack. But as they got to know one another, Jack really seemed to sort of gain an understanding of just how difficult things have been and were for Maren, given her status and everything. But as she got to also know Maren's daughter, it was clear Jack also had other things that affected her as well and made her think and feel the way she did. So the story had its moments of drama, but the rest of the time it had this nice relaxed feel. It was almost laid back and as free as Jack herself was. So it lent really well to the idea of Maren getting her family this fresh start. And deep conversations were always a really big part in this story of getting to know all the characters. So Maren, her daughter, Jack, all the deep conversations is where everything sort of came to the surface and you really got to know who they were. So the excitement really came then from Jack gaining people in her life and having this vested interest in outside of her dedication and connection through her work, she had something more. It also came from Maren getting to know about Jack and explore her own true self that she'd really kept hidden for years because of those demands on her career. And then most of it came from a passion. Her daughter sort of started to show just how getting honesty from her parents and a positive influence and purpose in her life was going to just really help her to grow as well. So it was a great story that I really enjoyed. I highly recommend it. It had a great vibe and a great feel about it, and it was just a lovely story to read. So I really, really, really recommend it. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can grab a copy of Sometimes We Fly by Cheyenne, which I hope you will. If you've read Sometimes We Fly by Cheyenne, would love to know what you thought of it, or if you're planning to read it, again, it would be great to find out that you're interested in reading it, because I love finding out what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I hope you get that good vibe and good feeling off it that I did, because it was a great experience. Bye.